Hello there, my name is Glenn Lozano. I'm currently a junior at the University of Houston. My major is industrial engineering, and today I'm going to be talking about electric self-driven vehicles and regular automobiles. This is what pretty much the outline of my report is going to be, or PowerPoint. There's going to be an introduction that emphasizes the background slash problem and the purpose of the PowerPoint report. There's going to be a discussion which states three criteria. It states the economic slash societal impacts, environmental impacts, and weather effects on electric self-driven vehicles. There will also be a conclusion and a contact slide where my contact information will be at. We're going to begin with the background slash problem and the purpose. Pretty much the background and problem is that we've known that combustible engines have been around for close to 100 years already. As time progressed, these vehicles have evolved to being safer, better gas mileage, and they produce less emissions. But although with increasing the rates of pollution, and government regulations and gas prices skyrocketing in various states, the government is leaning towards more of a greener and less expensive vehicle, like an electric self-driven vehicle. It can produce less emissions and be less air contamination. And the idea of these vehicles has emerged, and there's already companies that produce such car, like, for example, Tesla. They produce vehicles that are electric, and they pretty much self-drive in certain situations. Okay, the purpose of this PowerPoint is that I'm pretty much gonna explain the conception of electric vehicles when compared to regular vehicles. Although there are some positive impacts with the vehicles that are electric and self-drive, people still doubt certain things about how these vehicles will behave under different circumstances, how they will affect the environment, the society, the economic impacts. And yeah, like I said, we've known that regular vehicles have been around for quite a while. We pretty much know how they operate. We know that they need to be maintained, and we know they require oil and gas. So these vehicles that are electric and self-drive can be a great alternative to replace vehicles that cause air contamination. The first topic that will be covered is environmental impacts. Most vehicles of today are known to be operated by internal combustible engine. We know that these engines emit carbon monoxide, hydrocarbons, nitrogen oxide, and other harmful emissions to the environment. And automobile pollution it's a large contributor to the pollution that's in the environment. A lot of air contamination and harmful emissions. And these electric vehicles they're really a good alternative to replace those vehicles and reduce the amount of emissions and pollution that's being created. We know for a fact, like, the newer the car, the better the gas mileage, less emissions. But not everybody in the world, or not everybody has a newer car that's going to emit less emissions. A lot of people still drive cars that are 20, 30, 40 years old as a daily vehicle. So yeah, this concept of this electric vehicle, it can be something that can reduce the emissions. And that is somewhat of an environmental impact that these vehicles can cause. My next topic is societal impacts. One way that these vehicles can affect the society is that these vehicles can make life easier for people who have mobility problems, who have disabilities, illnesses, or they're old and they're really at high age. They know they can no longer drive, or people who they have to rely on family members, taxi services, public transportations in order to get to the desired destinations. And these vehicles can pretty much encourage more independent living, and they can get people to their desired locations in a safer manner. They will. We know that self-driving vehicle that's gonna be electric. It's gonna follow the rules. It's gonna follow speed limits, stops, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah. My next topic will be economic impact. These vehicles pose positive impacts towards the environment and people, but there are some doubts about how they will affect in economic wise. And as more electric vehicles start to get used at a daily, many cost affiliated things that are used in regular vehicles will be unnecessary for electric vehicles, like oils, fluids, things of that nature, that they won't be necessary for electric vehicles. Another thing that may impact the economy or companies, is competition. We know that there are many car companies that are bigger than others. They possess more power, they're more wealthy, they're more advanced in technologies, and there's going to be a lot of competition that's going to arise and towards who can build a car the best and who will get it out there first, things of that nature. Another economic impact that these vehicles may cause is they start to arise many concerns towards job security and job losses. Why? Because many people that rely on a vehicle in order to get income may be affected, like truck drivers who drive 18-wheelers, like the mail people who drive the big trucks for mail, cars, taxi drivers, Uber, things like that. An electric self-driven vehicle will pretty much harm those people's job because they will no longer be needed for that job. Another thing that these vehicles can impact is, for example, is like the police. Since these vehicles, they're gonna be more like a law-abiding vehicle. They will follow the rules, like mentioned. They will go the right speed limit. So it might harm the duty of the police of a cop. It can, since cops are they're here to monitor people who are driving faster, who aren't following the rules. That might be a way that people get in that job can get affected. Another thing that another topic that I will cover is weather effects on electric self-driven vehicles. We know that on a regular vehicle, it's pretty much controlled by the person driving it. We're looking forward, we're looking backwards to the sides. We know when it's raining. We know certain different weather. On the type of weather that's going on at that moment, we know that we gotta not drive really fast or drive slower, things like that. And this can be a way that these vehicles can be affected. Since this vehicle is electric and it's self-driven, it will pretty much have to consist of many sensors throughout the whole vehicle. Like in this picture, there's going to be like a 360-degree view or sensors pretty much all around the vehicle, and they pretty much have to gather information about the weather, the road conditions, and objects around the vehicle in order to drive in a safely manner. But really key findings indicate that these vehicles had the greatest difficulty when it came to precipitation. I'm sorry, and roadway snow, and whenever there was a lot of sunlight, it impacted the sensors, and it caused them to not read 100%. So these vehicles are still, they're still like a work in progress to be able to drive 100% in a safety manner in such weather conditions. This is the conclusion. This report pretty much analyzed electric vehicles and regular vehicles and stated some advantages and their disadvantages towards the environment, the economic, the society. And then all of these vehicles pose a big, like, positive impact towards the environment, towards the economy. They're still not 100% in 100% completion. As time progresses and these cars improve, they will go down in value. They will be eventually dominate the roads. There will be more out there. There's gonna be less gas stations, more charging stations. It's pretty much gonna change everything. I would say these vehicles, it will impact the majority of good, but they will also impact bad. So for now, I say that I recommend to stay with regular vehicles if you can, or if you're able to. Yeah, get you a vehicle that produces less emissions and has better gas mileage. And the idea of this vehicle that drives by itself and it's electric is really not bad at all. But like I said, it's a work in progress. It's not 100% completed. And after improvements, yeah, I recommend the vehicle because they pretty much will do better in certain areas. They still need tires. They still need batteries. They still need things that are in regular vehicles. But overall, they can still help out with air contamination and like in a way that it helps society is with people who aren't able to drive and things like that. Any questions or concerns, contact me, Glenn Lozano, with my phone number and my email. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.